Hello there, everybody. My name is Michael, and welcome to Neverwinter Nights. Now, those of you who are familiar with my channel may remember that a few years ago I did make a couple of videos about Neverwinter Nights, and they are probably the most controversial videos on my channel because, well, a lot of people thought I came across as if I hated Neverwinter Nights and was really just smack talking the game, but that's not exactly accurate. I didn't quite precisely state how I felt about it. It was really less of a review and more of a critique of all of the bad things about the game. But just to clarify it, I do feel that Neverwinter Nights is a great game. It just has some curious design choices, especially in the original campaign that they released. And I wanted to make this video here just to kind of let people know that I do love Neverwinter Nights, and I've played it to death over the past, I guess it's almost 20 years now. And I'm going to be playing one of the fan-made modules for Neverwinter Nights called the Saga of Aielund. There it is, Act 1, Nature Abhors a Vacuum. Um, and I'm going to create my own character, and maybe if people like this, I'm going to make this like a little Let's Play series. Now, I think that I'm actually going to go for a bard character in this game, just because I've very, very rarely ever played as a bard, so it's very unfamiliar to me. In Neverwinter Nights, or just in general in D&D, I tend not to pick that class, so I'm going to choose that. I'm going to be a male bard, and I'm going to be a half-elf, just in case I want to become an arcane archer later on, just in case. I may not. And the portrait is a little bit difficult to pick. This little section at the beginning was basically all the portraits that you got, I think, in the base game, but they added a ton of them with the community expansion pack, this gigabyte-sized thing that radically changes the game and adds all kinds of stuff for modders and fan-made things, and there's tons of new pictures to choose from. And I'm not really certain what I want, because there's nothing that I quite think fits my character. There's kind of a drow there. That's kind of neat. I kind of like that. But, don't really know. This looks a little bit like a bard character. I think I'm going to go with this. There are a couple of characters here that have, like, instruments that are actually holding things, like this guy and someone else around here. But I actually know, I've actually played the Saga of Aielund a number of times before, and I think these people might actually be villainous characters later on in the game, or these are the portraits that they use for them, so I'm not going to pick those just because I don't want to accidentally look exactly like a villain here. Well, that's not terrible. Got some half-orcs here, so that looks pretty cool. But where is that guy? Here he is. I'm going to pick this guy. I think he looks a little bit bard-like. Do you have to be chaotic to be a bard? I don't remember. It's not allowing me to pick lawful, so I guess I think I'm going to be chaotic neutral. This is sort of, some people consider this kind of like a cheat class, because what chaotic neutral does is it essentially allows you to pick like almost any choice that you possibly could under any circumstance. You're pure chaos. And you can be, Conan the Barbarian is sort of chaotic neutral because he could be the hero one day and the villain the next. He's sort of hovering between good and bad here, even more than any other class. He can randomly choose something here. It says chaotic neutral represents freedom from both society's restriction and from a do-gooder's zeal. Though a character of the alignment is not totally random in action, as it's not likely to jump off a bridge as to cross it, so he's sort of not like that woman in Jules and Jim who jumps off a bridge randomly. But anyway, let's pick abilities. I'm going to get up to 16 charisma. I don't like to have to be gimped below 10 points on basically any of my stats. I think that's a big mistake to make. I might want to have 12 intelligence. I'm going to have to use some skills here and there, and I think I'm going to have 14 dexterity. Now, this is a little bit of a weird thing here, because 12 is not great for strength. I'm not going to be brutally strong. 14 dexterity is okay, but I don't know if I'm really going to be able to be much of an archer even with 14. I might need to have some magical help with that. 12 is not great constitution. I'm going to have low hit points. Wisdom 10 is terrible, but I'm kind of a bard, a chaotic wanderer, musician. I'm not a very wise guy. 12 intelligence is not great. We're not going to be super skill heavy like a rogue, but we are going to need to have the perform skill. And a few other things like bardic lore and all that. But in Charisma 16, we're going to have to bump this up to 18 eventually, but thankfully Neverwinter Nights uses the AD&D 3rd edition rule system, so we can get our ability scores up later on much easier than we could in AD&D. I don't even remember in AD&D if you could, as you level up, increase your stats, but you can in this game. Okay, so I think that's going to be good for now, and I'm going to customize my what I want here. I'm sorry if this little box here is small, but I'm actually running this at a resolution in order to record this. I had to set it at a fairly high resolution to match my monitor here. So if it's low, I'm sorry about that. I think I'm going to get Persuade. I'm going to be, I have a high charisma. I might as well persuade people. Perform helps me to use my my bardic skills. I think I'm actually going to get Discipline, because Discipline in this game prevents you from being knocked down, and being knocked down is very, very serious, because you can be killed if you're knocked down. You're basically prone, and an enemy can just wail away on you. Concentration helps you to avoid failing at casting a spell. Let's take a look down here. Use Magic Device, why not? Might as well want to get a little bit of that. Spellcraft, I don't think that's super important, but there might be some skill checks related to it. And lore. I definitely want to have lore, because I'm a bard and I should know things. I'm a little surprised that bards can get armor proficiency medium. That's a little weird. Artist, that's a very bardic thing to take, but I don't think I'm going to take that one. Curse Song. 6 perform, and that's what damage rolls. Oh, so this is like a debuff against enemies instead of a buff for enemies. Ooh, extra music. I'm going to have to take that eventually, but I think I'm going to actually go with Toughness, which grants you bonus hit points every level, which is going to be necessary for me in order to stay alive. And what spells? Acid Splash, sure. Cure Minor Wounds, why not? It's kind of weird that I had Cure Minor Wounds, because it's really a healing spell, but the Bard spell list is a little bit peculiar, I guess. You get sort of a mixture of the... See, this is a Wizard Sorcerer spell, but you can actually get this. Electric Jolt and Daze. Okay, those are my cantrips. Customize. I'm not going to mess around with this too much. I don't really think that the faces in Neverwinter Nights look very good. I think they look kind of peculiar and kind of creepy. Let's see, I'll change the hair color just a little bit. There we go. Or do I want it to be more like that? No. About green? No, I don't think green. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I think I'm going to name myself Arnimheim. I'm just going to name myself Michael. Whatever. It's an old elven name, Michael. Okay, and I think I'm going to go... This is my favorite one. Brooding Dark Hero. I kind of like that. I'm not going to be worshipping a deity. I'm, come on here. I'm an arrogant, charismatic, half-elven bard. I don't worship a deity here. I worship myself. And I'm going to Brooding Dark Hero, because the other ones sound a little bit weird. This is actually a funny one. High-strung Evangelist. I've chosen that one a few times. Stealth Specialist is kind of neat. Ooh, Sociopath. That's kind of cool. Prankster kind of sounds a little bit bardic, I guess, but I'm going to go with Brooding Dark Hero. And I think that's about it. So as I said, I've played the Aielund Saga many times, so I'm not going into this blind. I kind of know what we're doing and what I have to do in order to play the game. So there's not a whole lot of surprises in store for me. I'm going to get some armor pretty soon, so I'm not going to bother taking these clothes. I actually kind of like this traveler's gear with a little backpack on it. So I'm just going to leave that... Ooh, a gown. Hold on, let me take a look at this. Oh, beautiful. Oh, it comes with a little amulet. Oh, man, I'm gorgeous. I'm super charismatic in this, but okay. I'm not going to take the gown. I'm just going to leave that right here. And this is our little hotel room, and I'm just going to read the opening here with the background. Perhaps it was a mistake to travel through the kingdom of Aielund in the middle of winter. It hasn't stopped raining in a month, and the roads are a quagmire. Tiring of trudging through the weather, I stopped at a quaint little town called Braxford to wait out the storms. It's been a week now, and on top of the weather, all the gates out have been closed. I'm getting a little sick of waiting around like this, so I think maybe it's time to do something about it. The innkeeper here knows the layout of the town and who to talk to, so I should speak to him when I'm ready to move. Isn't it so refreshing to play a game where you truly are just a random wanderer? So many games nowadays throw you into this, like, narrative story of you're this... they try to give you a background. They try to, exercise their writer's skills in order to make you, into this, locked down into a particular character. That's what happened in Fallout 4. One of the biggest games in the RPG genre released in the past 10 years. It sold amazingly well, but they kind of locked you into this unfortunate character and made it much more difficult to be the character that you wanted to be. But in this one, you're just this random guy. You're just some random dude out there as this traveler who gets roped into this stuff. And I really like that. You're not forced into be... You could imagine yourself as any person you want, basically. So I think that's really cool. Okay, we're going to go over here and talk to these guys. These are our companions. I already know that they are because I've played this game before. Let's talk to her. Good day to you, my lord. Can I do something to be of service? What's a beautiful lady like you doing wearing armor? Are you a warrior? It's kind of a jerky thing to say, but okay. Not really. I'm a cleric in service of God. And in times as troubled as these, it is not uncommon for her priests to clad ourselves in iron. I see. What brings you to Braxford? I bet it isn't the weather. God, I'm being kind of a jerk here. Her smile is like sunrise on a clear morning. Clearly not. I am one of the few clerics that His Majesty did not take with him in his expedition to the west, so I thought to make myself useful in some fashion. Any luck? Alas, this place is quite peaceful, and dare I say boring. Aside from the occasional broken leg or arm, there's been little chance to serve. You might be of use to me. I'm an adventurer, and I could use a good healer to travel with me, if you're interested. I am. To be honest, I was nearly at the point of being returned to the Church of Caldernay for reassignment, but it would be good to be of further use. All right. Sweet. Well said. My name is Nelise Sandman, and I am at your disposal. Well then, let our adventure begin. And this character actually lasts throughout the entire adventure. She spends a heck of a lot of time until the very end of the game. And, in high resolution, her face actually looks pretty good. Look at my face. Jeez. Her face is nice. But maybe that's because she's an Aasimar. She's not human. Aasimars are half celestials. So an angel got freaky with a human and created this this half angel, half human. Okay, let's talk to this idiot. Sure is boring around here. Makes me wish I head back to the forest. At least there I gotta keep people to keep me company. My name is Dante Colt. I'm a ranger with the local regiment, but I'm on a personal leave of absence. Any particular reason? Yep. I'm a bard. I can persuade people, yes. Fine. I had an issue with my commander and he recommended I be somewhere else for a few weeks to let the whole thing cool down. You won't get more than that out of me without buying me flowers first, princess. That's Captain Princess, you oaf. You're alright, mate. Say, do you need someone to watch your back with you out there? I can do that. Could use a distraction, to be honest. Why not? Alright, lead and I'll follow. So you don't actually have to pay for either of these guys, which is a little bit peculiar. I just want to point out here, hold on, let me open his inventory. Unlike the obnoxious nonsense in Skyrim, you don't have to worry about your guys constantly switching back and forth to a bow, because you can just take the bow out of their inventory. I can't stand it when Lydia does that. That just enrages me, when she just tries to straight up take your, to go against your orders and just pull out a bow when you're like a mage or something like that. You want her to rush in there with a two-handed sword and get busy. But anyway, Let's move on a little bit here and talk to the innkeeper.
Good morning to you, sir. Before you ask it, no, the mayor has not opened up the roads yet. They're just impassable in the rain. I mean, solid rain for an entire month. I've never seen such a thing. The entire town has been flooded.
I've been stuck in this place all week. At this point, I'd be willing to risk it. My boredom is more important than everyone's safety.
I know the feeling. I tried sending someone through the colony up north, but they never returned.
Why did you send them and things are so bad?
The roads are all but impassable. The fields are a quagmire. And it's just everyone's spirits down. Good for business, though, if you know what I mean.
Selling lots of ale?
Yes, indeed, but I must confess that my stock is running a bit low. There haven't been any new deliveries in a month, and my current stock won't last a week.
I can fix that for you. I'd be happy to bring beer here.
Would you? That would certainly be a great help, and I'll pay a premium price. Well, after people started disappearing, a rumour started that the North Road to Caldony has been overrun with highwaymen. I couldn't ask you to go for that, think of the danger.
After a week cooped up in here, I'm willing to take that risk.
Okay then, you bring me my batch of ale, I'll pay you 200 gold. Oh, and one more thing, you'll need to speak to the mayor about gaining access to the road north. Ever since I heard that the highwaymen taken over, he's forbidden anyone to leave the town. Just head over the road to his office, you can't miss him. He'll probably have a few other jobs for you, well, if you're interested.
If you're inclined. Thanks. And okie dokie.
Don't forget, you've paid for a whole week's lodging in advance here. Room is available whenever you want. Have a nice day.
So this is sort of our home base for right now. We can come back here and rest whenever we want. I don't believe we're allowed to rest outside in the town. I don't think we can. Now, we're not actually going to go over to the mayor right now. We're going to go to the blacksmith because I have literally nothing. I have a torch. Bards cannot use short bows, which I was a little surprised at. I thought we could use short bows. But we're going to go to the blacksmith and talk to him. I have 170 gold pieces, so that's not spectacular. I'm just going to take a bite of the food here. Excuse me. It was a half work running the smithy. That's comforting.
Hello. You come to buy pots, yes? Or maybe new plowshares? Got a good deal on pots, though. Big saving.
Your stock seems a little bit... You're not too bright, are you? I don't want to be a mean bard. Your stock seems a bit low.
Yeah, was expecting shipment of iron for Heimat, but never came. Maybe got stuck in south in the mud.
I can get that for you.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Hadouche?
Be very grateful. This guy's such a hadouche.
Big pile of light iron. It was on wagon heading from the big city south. If you find bring here, I'll make plenty more weapons.
Okay, I'll return with that soon. But I do want to buy some stuff. Yes. Okay. Now let's take a look here. I can't use swords or this warhammer or the battle axe. I can use a crossbow, but bows are a little bit gimped in Neverwinter Nights. You don't get as many attacks as you do later on as with a melee weapon, and you just can't get the damage output that you can with melee. So going range is a little bit of a questionable thing. It's not quite as useful. So I'm going to buy a Morning Star. To me, it seems like a Morning Star would be more difficult to use, to be honest, than a sword, you know? But, well, I mean, what do I know? And I think I'm going to get... But it's considered a blunt weapon, so... Whatever. And I'm actually going to get some scale mail. Now, this is a little bit questionable because I am an arcane spellcaster, and this has 20% arcane spell failure, which means that there's a 20% chance, 1 in 5, that my arcane spells down here might just fail because I'm wearing this armor. So, I mean, the armor looks cool. I love the way scale armor looks even more than chain. I think it looks better, but I think it's more important at this stage of the game for me to have some protection rather than these pretty wimpy spells which don't have a whole lot of oomph to them. There are some minor little quests that we can do in the town here. Just going to quick save. That we can do before we go talk to the mayor, which might give us a wee little bit of experience. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, as I said, I've played the game before, so I know I know the score, I know what's going on here, so... Let's go talk to this guy, Farmer Johnson. Can I have a word with you? Hey there, could you spare a moment? Okay. There's some kind of beastie that's been attacking my chickens in the past few days. It was hard for me to track down, but I got it cornered in the barn. So you want me to kill it? My mind goes straight to murder, apparently. If you could, I'm an old man and I don't fancy trying my luck against the creature. Okay, I can try this. Thanks, I'll give you a reward if you bring me a piece of it back as a proof. What kind of body part? Oh, whatever's handy. Head, tail, I don't know what it's got really. Just avoid the gonads. I don't want to make a mess in there. Oh, okay. Alright. You ready, guys? You ready to pop in there? Let's do this. And I have the sound for the sound effects and the music turned down pretty low. And wait, where is it? I like the combat a lot in Neverwinter Nights. Just in general, the third. This is using the 3rd edition rather than the 2nd edition ones. That, oh my god, disease? Really? Really? I'm diseased? Oh no, she healed. Oh no 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 no. Oh man, this stupid rat. I can't actually interact with this now. I need to be able to get the rat, but I can't because he's in the door. Jesus. Okay, okay. All right, that is so annoying. I don't know why the doors have this weird like energy field look around them when you actually go into them. It's so ridiculous. But you can actually go into them, but you can't touch anything. But no, those people who were shilling for Neverwinter Nights is some kind of perfect game. Yeah, those guys were right. Okay, no, I'm gonna use my bardic music this time. So I'm thankfully blessing, or I'm helping everybody out. Die, rat! Don't run over there. Yes, come on, kill him. Yes, I got it. Okay, and I got its tail. The combat system, as I was saying in they're like stealth rats. Whoa, 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 oh. Man, I can't believe I was murdered by a rat. I'm not playing on super hard mode either. I'm playing like the D&D hardcore rules, which isn't, I mean, that's not super challenging, but basically all it does is allows things like fireballs to hurt your companions as well as you. Okay, ready for round 3? I can't believe I'm being killed by a rat. Okay, now let's try some spells. I am a spellcaster, so let's see if I can do that. And it wasn't even the huge rat that killed me. It was like... There were like little stealth rats that just appear out of nowhere. I can't believe this killed me. It's very, very sad. Okay, are there other rats? There are other rats. Yes, there are. Maybe that rat got a sneak attack on me. I can't believe that. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can barely even see the enemies here. Okay, I think that the rats are dead. Okay, finally. So let's head back and turn this in, maybe get a little XP, so maybe I'm, strong enough not to be murdered by a rat. Yep, there you go. It had a tail, eh? It was a rat, a bloody big one at that. Glad to see it's gone. I'm glad to be of help. You've proven yourself quite handy. If you're interested, old Amal Smith says he has something in his barn too. He's afraid to go in there now, but seeing as you've found some rats here, maybe there's more in his barn. Just over to the west. Can't miss him. Thanks again. You've saved countless chickens from a horrible death. Now, if you'd excuse me, I'm going to have to strangle myself some dinner. There's the vegan response at the bottom. Hypocrite. But I'll say enjoy. Okay. Now let's hit... Oh, no. Is she diseased? No. No. Why? Elise, are you okay? Okay, I hope I healed her. Yeah, she's okay. Okay, now we can actually talk to our companions here and set different things for them to do. Change how they fight. Tell them to try to use range more, try to stay stealthy. A whole mess of things going on there. Let's see, over here. And we can pause the game anytime by pressing the space bar. And I think this barn is over this way. So let us go talk to Amal, which is a terrible name. Okay, well, what do you want? Is something wrong? I figured there's something in this barn, but I ain't got the strength to go in and look closer, Dagnabbit. Perhaps I could take a look for you. It might just be rats. Rats wouldn't be a problem for a young person like yourself. If you want to find a rat, kill it for me, would you? I'll make it worth your while. Good, I'll be waiting to hear proof of your handiwork. Okay. So let's go in here. This is the enhanced edition of Neverwinter Nights, by the way. It's I'm noticing little differences here and there, but mostly it's the enhanced edition of the Aielund Saga. Excuse me. This is actually the GOG version of Neverwinter Nights. Here, let's talk to this guy. Evil. I'm a rat hunter, and you look like a rat to me. The game is mostly tilted towards playing as a good or neutral character. However, they do give you a few evil options just to be a bad guy if you want to be evil. You know, it doesn't completely hamstring you in that direction. You can be evil if you so choose. Okay, I was going to ask you the same question. I'm Sam. I was just resting here to get out of the rain. The farmer was afraid there was a big rat taking up residence. Oh, I see. I didn't stay here long anyway, but I just needed to break from my travels. You look like you've been living on the road on the land for a while. I have, actually. I jumped ship in Caldony Harbor because of a small disagreement with the captain. I won't go into details, but I'm better off elsewhere for now. You won't turn me in, will you? Chaotic. Cleave you asunder. That sounds evil, not chaotic. I'm going to go with good. I'll just let the old man know he's hearing things. Don't worry about it. I would suggest you don't hang around too long, or he's liable to get suspicious again. I'll be gone soon, I promise. There's... thanks so much, stranger. Bye. So, there are choices to be made between good, evil, law, and chaos that do affect the game. For instance, being chaotic neutral, I know for a fact in the second act of this game I can't hire a certain NPC, and I'm going to have to hire a more chaotic NPC in his place because he will only talk to lawful characters rather than neutral or chaotic ones, and you have to go for other NPCs if you're a chaotic person. Didn't find anything evil apart from your livestock. Perhaps you heard the wind whistling through the eaves. You might be right. Damned Eaves. Always the Eaves. Well, thanks for checking that out for me. Here's our 20 gold pieces. That's very fair price for doing very little. You're a generous man and all. Don't spread it around or folks will think less of me. Hey, if you're headed out by paddocks, keep an eye out for my boys, will you? See you around, youngster. Okay, well, that's nice. And let us pop over now to the mayor's office. I don't believe there's any time issues. You know, you don't have to go to shops at a certain time. It's day or night. But it kind of looks neat night with all the rain falling here. I like that. And here is the mayor's office, and let's go chat with him about some things. I don't think we need to talk to the mayor's secretary here. I think we should just go straight in here. Okay, Mayor Olaf.
Good day to you, sir. What brings you to my office?
Leaving town.
Honestly, this could not come at a worse time.
I don't care about your problems. I want to talk about mine.
As it happens, I don't want to speak of it anyway. Not one word. Now, what did you want?
I need to leave, old man. Get the wax out of your ears.
Leave? Good heavens, no. There are bandits to the north, barbarians to the east, and we have been out of touch with Fort Heimat for nearly a week. Till I know more about it, unauthorized people wander about.
You're not the boss of me. I'll choose to get in trouble out there in the world. It's my choice. Yeah, chaotic. Awesome.
You hardly seem capable of dealing with any other threats to this town. I wouldn't wish to endanger you needlessly.
I can take care of myself. Let me look into things for you. How else will you find out what's going on?
Well, it does bear looking into. I'll tell you what. If you help me with my little problem, I'll hire you to investigate the South Road. How does that sound?
Maybe. What sort of problems?
It's rather delicate. An associate of mine is seeking to discredit my name and oust me from high office. She wants 1,000 gold pieces to keep us silent. I've tried reasoning with this individual, but she simply won't cooperate. I'm not one to employ strong-arm tactics myself, but if you were to persuade her to see reason, I'm sure I can make it worth your while.
Strong arm is my middle name. I'll do that.
I see. You will talk to her first, won't you?
I'll hear her out if you like. What is it you need me to do?
She has some documents in her possession that she should not have. I want them returned. Simple as that.
Alright, who is she?
She's a halfling named Mirren. She lives next to the blacksmiths in a small house facing west.
Okay, I will go take a look at that. I'm going to not go back to the inn and rest, even though I'm not at full health. Just going to chance it and see if I can get away with not dying to this halfling woman here. And I think this is her house. I'll knock on the door.
Who is it?
Mirren, my name is Michael. I need to speak with you.
I'm not interested in anything you have to say.
It's quite urgent. I must insist you open the door immediately.
Let me think about it. Now, go away.
I won't let this door stop me.
Good luck with it.
Okay, now I don't have any lockpicking skills, but if I touch the door here, Dante is immediately going to theoretically go ape on this and break it down. And you can actually bash doors in this game to try to smash them down, but if you don't have the power attack ability that the fighter class characters like rogues and so forth have, it's very difficult to break it down in a decent amount of time. I think I'm going to go for an official save here real fast, because it's a little dangerous going in here without my stuff. Okay. Now let's go chat to Mirren.
Breaking into me house, son. Very bold of you. I'm surprised you got through the door, actually. Obviously not thick enough.
So we need to talk about the mayor.
I might have guessed. Olaf sent you over to toss me about, eh?
You didn't say it, but I'm not averse to that sort of thing. I am curious, though. Why are you doing this?
Because it's good money, my dear. Certainly enough for me to relocate back to Fairlock, where there's some culture.
Well, I have a deal with the mayor, actually. I must order you to hand over the documents immediately.
And just why should I do that, sweetie?
I'm going to persuade. I'm a charismatic bard.
Look, I don't want any trouble. This isn't working out as I hoped. The document is in the drawers just over there. Take it and get out.
Glad to see things work my way. Goodbye, Mirren. But I know what's going to happen, unfortunately. Yep, yeah, she attacks anyway, because she's not bright. Okay, I'm going to try to heal Dante, and then he has 14 hit points, she has 11. I only have 8 hit points. And she has her... That little unable to reach target thing will pop up every now and again when you can't get close enough to an enemy. It's a little bit annoying. The path, even though it seems like you should be able to run over there, the pathing of the characters is not spectacular. Oh, and Dante is already breaking this down. That's good. Thank you, Dante. You can choose in the options, by the way, whether you want the... where is it here? Change your tactics. Whether you want them to open the locked doors or not. They will... you know, if you're a rogue character, you'll probably want to unlock it yourself. In Neverwinter Nights 2, they actually included a system where you will be able to... that if you bashed open chests, you actually had a chance of destroying the... Come on, Dante. Come on. Come on. Sometimes it takes a little while for them to figure it out. Come on. There we go. He's going to do it. You actually destroyed in Neverwinter Nights 2 some of the items in the chest if you bashed it open, which makes sense if there's like jewelry or potions or something in the chest. Absolutely, you know, it completely makes sense. But you know, it wouldn't make sense necessarily for like a sword or armor, but you could destroy that as well. This red on the door means that there's a trap on it. I believe it is... I'm going to see if it's too dangerous if I'm going to die with this. Ooh, almost. I almost died. Okay. Bash open the door, Dante. Oh, no, no. No, this door's okay. Now, what do I... What do I click here? Handle trap? There we go. I mean, he is a... He is a ranger. I think rangers do have, as part of their class skills, like open, like disable trap and open lock and so forth. This is actually going to be... I'm going to leave this here. This is actually pretty useful, this potion of... or fiery burning. It is like a burning hand spell. It's only one use, but it's still going to be pretty good. I better be very careful about not dying here, because I do not believe that I have a way to resurrect characters here, so if one of my guys dies, then that's the end for them. I'm going to have to reload. The game is very generous with resurrections. Later on, it allows you to get quite a bit of rods of resurrection, I think they're called. And there we go. Okay, let's go turn this quest into the mayor and see what he has to say. Alrighty. Just killed some random people in town for the mayor. I'm feeling pretty chaotic right now. And I think that in Neverwinter Nights, the whole smashing items inside of chests thing is not going to work as successfully, because it was more of a single-player type experience where you had yourself and one NPC. This game thankfully lets you have 2 NPCs most of the time, which is much more helpful. Okay, I'll cover the documents.
You have splendid. Quickly give them to me.
It seems less lawful to... I mean, this doesn't seem lawful because I'm abetting the mayor and breaking the law.
Good work, Michael. They're gonna be very embarrassing for myself and my business partners.
Sorry about that little cut there. Yes, of course.
As it happens, I have to send some requisition forms to High March anyway. Indeed, there must be something along the South Road that have broken our lines of communication, so take extra caution on your journey. The captain of the guard will take care of that and quite probably give you something to return here with.
Where's my sponduli? Where's my money?
200 gold, a reasonable sum considering the risks involved.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
And I leveled up because of that. Let's just get this level right here. I'm thinking of becoming later on in the game a Red Dragon Disciple, which you have to be a sorcerer or a bard in order to do. And this is actually a pretty cool class because you eventually get to grow dragon wings out of your back. I'm a little bit worried about playing as a bard later on in the game because I don't know if I'm really going to be able to defeat some of the later acts enemies, because they are pretty darn tough. Like, I know the final boss is brutally difficult later on in this game. A class skill requires only 1 of these points in order to level up, but something that's not a class skill requires 2. So I'm not really going to be picking any non-class skills. Get my persuasion up, my perform. Let's get some... Where's my lore? There's lore. That allows me to identify items without having to pay a charge for them, which saves a lot of money later on. Concentration, use magic device, spellcraft, and what else do we want? I guess discipline, just in case we're knocked down. Ooh, let's see, get some level 1 spell. Oh, summon creature, very nice. And I think that protection from evil sounds good. And ray of frost. Okie dokie, alrighty. So, let us head out here. We're going to go rest. Got 16 hit points now, which is pretty darn good. And then we can go on the road for the mayor and continue on with his little quest there. We have to rest in true D&D fashion in order for us to recover our spells. If you press the B button, your spell book comes up. And I'm just going to get some of my... If you hold shift or control, you get another slot at the bottom there to put things in. And I'm just going to put my summon creature and protection from alignment. And I think that's about it. I don't really think I need anything else right now. This, by the way, is the semicircular little... I don't know exactly what to call it. Radial wheel, maybe, where you can pick up all of your stuff. I really don't like this. It's very confusing and non-intuitive, and you can't quite get it right, or at least I can't. I've never been able to quite been comfortable with this. It just ends up being sort of confusing. Ooh, let me, can I laugh? Ha! You get a note there, that's kind of neat. Okay. But let's go rest. Thankfully, because we're in an inn, we will not need to wait to rest. Like you see, the rest thing here is actually grayed out. He said we not rest at this time, so we can't rest in this area. And usually it takes like a little bit, like 4 or 5 seconds to rest, but it just happens instantly here. If we go to this pillow thing, which I think they added in Hordes of the Underdark. I do want to advance time. There we go. I first played Neverwinter Nights back when it came out in the early 2000s, and you know, at the time, I didn't quite grasp what they were going for with the game, that it was supposed to be more of like an architecture for you to be more of a DM and play the game, not necessarily as a, how should I put it? Not as more of a stereotypical SSI game or Baldur's Gate, Planescape Torment type game, but more like a multiplayer experience where you can gather a bunch of people to play with you. I think that's what more they were going for, especially with that first game, because of how bland and uninteresting it is. And I really just don't approve of what they were going for there. I'm going to sell that. That seems pretty boring. I'm going to put my quest items down at the bottom. Padded armor, elegant dress. I should try that on. I would look beautiful, I think. Masterwork dagger. Short sword. Can I use a short sword? I can't, right? Oh no, it does let me use a short sword. Oh, maybe because I'm an half elf, or oh, I don't know. But anyway, should I keep this short sword? 1d6, 1d8. I guess I'll hang on to that short sword. Let's see. Don't think I have anything else to sell. Okay. I can only carry 100 pounds of weight, so I'm not doing too great on that front, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to rely on my companions to carry stuff, but thankfully I think they have. Dante at least has decent strength. There's a few more things to find in this town, by the way. I didn't explore everything. There's Hazranax the Druid over here. And I swear when I was originally playing this game, this was a leopard, but they must have changed it to a tiger for some reason. I think tigers are cooler than leopards, but still. Can I talk to him? Nope. Okay. Hello, nice weather we're having lately. You do realize it's been raining for a month. Bah, nature is merely resetting the balance after a long drought. Everything is as it should be. Was there something I could do for you? You find out, by the way, what Hazranax is doing here in a later act. He knows a lot more than he claims he does. Do you have anything for sale? A few items, yes. Healing kits, herbs, a few potions. And this is basically just druid stuff. We don't really need to get this. But there's some, some light armor, padded or leather armor. Ooh, a scythe, but I cannot... Wait, I can't use a quarterstaff? No, I have to be able to use a quarterstaff. Oh, this is like a special one just for rangers. Spears. Spear is simple. Okay. Yeah, but there's really nothing else we want from him. Let's just pop over here and see. There is a barracks over here. I don't remember if you can get any like quests at this barracks or not. Maybe later on we can do. I think maybe later on when we go to fight the barbarians they mentioned earlier, we can do something with that. Let's just take a look over here and see what this guy has. This is sort of a wizard shops. You can go and find some stuff here. Yes, hello there. Sorry, I was engrossed in the translating this tome. Was there something I could do for you? Yeah, you can sell something? Well, I could be persuaded to part with some items from my collection, magical, others merely exotic. I also have a number of artifacts that I've acquired over the years. They might have some interest for you, too. All right, let me see. Ooh, look how cool this is. Elven chainmail. Minus 20% spell failure, arcane spell failure. So there's no arcane spell failure, and you have to be an elf, and I am an elf. but it costs 20,000 gold. Oof. Wizard sidearm. There's some East Asian things here, like this chakram and this tetsubo, which are like just little skins of other items. It's like a base item is just a club, but they added this East Asian thing in one of the, I think one of the expansion packs. You can buy some spells, a wand. Way too expensive right now, though. I will, however, be buying Alchemist's Fire because it can be very, very useful in case I run out of attacks, which I very likely will. This Acid Bomb is too expensive. Okay. Let's take a look at this katana over here. It does have a katana. I mean, maybe I could just take it, but I need exotic weapon proficiency in order to use katanas. You probably wouldn't in real life. You probably could just get away if you know how to use a regular longsword to use a katana. I mean, maybe not as expertly as a samurai obviously could, but now where... There we go. I want to go south to Fort High March. I could have equipped a shield too, by the way, but I decided not to. My arcane spell failure is already pretty bad. Oh, little cows sitting around there, little fields here. Okay, let's talk to this guy. Something I can help you with? I have orders from the mayor allowing me passage to the south gate. Ah yes, that's all in order, but be warned, something has been attacking travelers along South Road for a while now, and it could be dangerous. Okay, I'll be careful. And he's going to open the gate for me. Good luck. Thank you. Okay, now let's head out here. And I think we're just going to be running into wolves along this road, but at my paltry hit points, wolves are dangerous enough. Let's just quick save and see if I can summon something. Let's see what I get. And is a badger. Look how adorable this little guy is. Hi, you're my little badger friend. I need you to cast a spell. I don't think badgers can cast spells. Don't know why that was an option there in the screen. If you hold tab, by the way, all of the things you can pick up are immediately highlighted. Some people play the game in a different vision mode, as if it's almost like a first-person game, but I really don't think the game looks good that way or plays good that way. You know, long before Dragon Age, the idea of playing it either like this or zoomed out existed. Now, there should be some wolves. I'm getting kind of worried that I'm not seeing any wolves. There's one. There he is. Come here. Come on. Want some acid? Hey, whoa, whoa. There we go. Alright. Get him, Badger. Get him! Quickly! Badger! Where are you? Badger friend! Kill them! Get him! Attack! Okay, my Badger friend was not super inclined to help me out there. Little upset about that. See if I can heal myself. Nope. Arcane spell failure. Let's see here. There we go. I still think it's better to be protected by the armor than to cast the spells. Oh, they must see something. Whoa! What was that? I guess this wolf has some sort of special ability that gives you a debuff. Jeez. It's a powerful wolf. He's sly. A sly wolf, apparently. I guess he can... He's sly because he can stealth, I guess. Alrighty. Now, what else do we have down here? Oh, a merchant. Just gotta loot your corpse here, sir. No, that wasn't much. Oh, but some chests here. Ooh. Ooh, that's not good. I'm officially over-encumbered now, so, unfortunately, I am going to move really, really slowly. However, in this game, unlike again in Skyrim, you can overburden your companions and let them walk really slow while you walk fast, because, you know, you're a human and they're just an NPC. Lydia should just, I mean, she's sworn to carry my burdens, right? Why is she not carrying my darn burdens? Ooh, raised dead. That's useful. Okay. Am I still overburdened? No, I'm not. Fortunately, Dante can carry that. And let's see if there are any more wolves, just in case we should get as much experience as we can. Whoop, I don't know why I'm not... Oh, there's an incline there. I didn't even see it. That was actually raised. I couldn't actually see it from where I was. Let's see if we have any more wolves down here. I bet we do. Just going to take a look. Come on. Oh no, this is another incline. There we go. Sly Wolf. What is he doing? Attack decrease, damage decrease, saving throw, skill decrease. Come on. Whoop, they're not helping me. They can't figure out the pathing to get down around here. Okay, well. Oh, one of them. Oh, the badger. Thank you, badger. Get them. Hold on a minute. He's not a regular badger. He's not a cheerful badger. He's a rather dire badger. Okay. So let us keep going. I'm surprised I lived through that and actually did not take more than a point of damage. So let us continue on the long road. There's just one more screen to Fort High March with a few more wolves to face. I kind of wish that they incorporated a system in these games where if you tried to loot a corpse, there was like the risk of becoming diseased or poisoned, because you know, you think if there's like a corpse lying on the ground with insects crawling all over it and blood and pus and everything, and you know, you'd think it's sort of disturbing and unpleasant. Come on. Oh, my badger went away. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do this badgerless, I suppose. And I'm going to use the alchemist fire here. It's considered a grenade-like weapon, so you toss it and explodes and does some fire damage. You can eventually get alchemist bombs and acid bombs, which are much more powerful, and those are really, really good items. Especially if you are a mage who have run out of spells, because running and trying to do physical stuff is a little different. But bards are more like jack-of-all-trades type characters that can mix in some rogue, some fighter, and some arcane spellcaster into what they're doing, but they are still quite squishy at the very beginning, and they can be hurt pretty fast. Thankfully, Dante here seems to be a pretty good warrior, even though he's only got light armor on. And there we go. Nice. And what do we have here? This trap here. I'm actually going to leave that there, because weirdly enough, traps in this game are listed as stolen goods. I'm going to rest here. It's just going to take a little bit just to get my spells back. And because they're listed as stolen items, they can't be sold at regular merchants. I think you can sell them at a thieves guild in Act 2 of Aielund, but that's a long way away, and I don't think they're worth very much, so I'm not going to bother taking the traps. I'm really intrigued at the idea of traps and trap use in video games, because it's a new kind of... not new, but it's a different kind of way of fighting. Unfortunately, traps are primarily defensive weapons. In the game, it's very difficult to do defense. You're usually attacking, you're raiding a dungeon, you're attacking a castle or an enemy encampment. You're not sitting waiting for someone to come attack you. So it becomes a little bit questionable to use them. In some cases, like in Fallout 4 Frost, you could use landmines very effectively, because you had to lure people over to them. Although for the most part, I find that to be a little bit on the boring side. Just going to save here in case my spell fails. Summon chest, summon... And I'm going to play my bard song, hopefully to get... okay, damage increase, alright. Okay, let's go. I think the boss wolf is over here, so we can take him out. And there he is, yeah, Alpha Wolf. And let's try some Alchemist Fire. You can also use the Alchemist Fire to coat your weapons with with fire damage, but I don't really use it for that for the most part. Come on, Badger! What are you doing? There you go. Get him. Get him, Badger. Get him. Do it for House Hufflepuff. Okay. Alrighty. And I think there might be a couple more wolves just over here. I know I'm save scumming all the time, but, you know, I mean, I don't want to lose my progress here. Considering I already died a couple of times to a rat. That was pretty embarrassing. Ooh, I might be able to get a level up. actually. Let's see over here. There's probably more wolves over here. Let's take a look here. Slain travelers, okay. More traps. I'm bringing the arrows along just in case I might want to, whoop, another wolf. I'm not even using my spells, I'm just running up to hit him. I mean, it seems like the simplest thing to do at this point. My spells are really not likely to even hit and do, you know, reasonable amounts of damage at this stage compared to just whacking it over the head with a flail. And there we go. Wasn't much treasure, but we're just level 2, so we're not expecting 100,000 gold pieces or anything. Let's take a look at my character here. The running it at this resolution, the game itself looks fine, but it's very hard for me to read this stuff because it's so small. Versus half-elf, chaotic, neutral, bard. This is kind of like, usually these things are much bigger on the side at its native resolution, which I think was playing at 800 by 600, if I remember right. But to record it, I had to do this, so, well, what are you going to do? Let's chat with this guy. Halt! Who seeks entry into Fort High March? I do. And I'm going to persuade because I'm a sexy bard. What? I failed? Fine. I can't believe I failed my persuade check. I'm not a sexy bard. Okay, these seem to be in order. Go on in. I'll tell him you're coming. Hey, Sarge, open the door. All right. Let's just pop in here. When you play the later acts, there's a lot of foreshadowing of things going on in the first act, and things that don't seem important actually turn out to be very important later on. I'm going to be chaotic here. Oh, there was something out there recently, to be sure. Perhaps they've had enough and moved on. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. Do you have information for me? Yes, these requisition forms from Braxford. I imagine Olaf is running short of a few things, by now. I'll be sure to have all of this delivered as soon as possible, but since the road is empty, as you claim, there's no need for it to pay you in full. So here's 100 gold. I'll try to persuade again. I was just having a little fun with your friend. Here's the rest of it. That's more like it. Is there anything else? Yes, while you're heading back to Braxford, hand these over to Olaf. It's rather important. Important enough to be paid money for? Yeah, I like your style. We always pay our couriers, so no need to worry. I've written here that the mayor should give you 100 gold for this. Very well. I will do that. And we can just teleport back to Braxford. Just fast travel, thankfully. And we're back in Braxford. We can go talk to the mayor and go turn in that iron. And then I think we're going to get our next quest, and then I think we're going to call it a video. But yeah, the Saga of Aielund, I think, is a beautiful example of what Neverwinter Nights could have done with its main quest, instead of just providing this sort of ultra-generic architecture for what you could do. You know, that's basically what it did. But Hordes of the Underdark was great. Shadows of the Undrentide was okay. But let's say, greetings, what news? I went to High March and I did all that. Yes, I thought you might. We usually get something every other week, you see. Anyway, let's have a look, shall we? Oh, and I gained a level. Oh, yes. Another job well done, eh? Here's your money. Thank you. Now, Evan, what orders? Oh, my. High March wants the road to Colony open by the end of the week. That means we have to tackle the bandit problem right away. You gotta send in the local troops? That's the problem. I can't afford to weaken our meager defenses around town if the barbarian threat is still present. And why not attack them first? I doubt that we'll be able to take on such a vast army as what has been assembled in the southern mountains. It's probably a good time to mention that nearly all the kingdom's military is out of the country, in case you hadn't figured that out yet. Thanks, Dante. So, what are we going to do about this situation? I'm in a bit of a spot here, actually, unless, of course, you want to help me out once more. I had a feeling this was coming. You want me to clear the bandits out. To put it as plainly as possible, yes. This is of paramount importance to the people of this region, and so I'm willing to pay you 500 gold pieces for the bandit leader's head. That's a handsome offer. I accept. I'll kill someone for 500. I'd kill anybody for 500 gold pieces. Excellent. Be sure to get all the equipment you need before embarking, as this could be quite a dangerous assignment. Of course. Oh, I will need a pass to get through the north gate.
Actually, yes, you will. Thank you for reminding me, sir. Here you go. Just show that to the guard. Good luck.
And let's level up. Bard again. Can persuade, perform, lore. Not getting heal. Heal can actually be fairly useful because it allows you to use those med kits more effectively, so you don't have to waste your potions. Use magic device, spellcraft, and what else should I get? Maybe, yeah, concentration. I'm going to need that to cast my spells. Get another feat. Good. Gonna have to go spell penetration, because this allows you to overcome an enemy's spell resistance, so it's absolutely necessary for any character that uses spells, or else you're just not going to be able to defeat the enemy's spell resistance. Sleep. Sleep is a pretty useful spell. And that's it. Tragically, I believe bards cannot get familiars like sorcerers and wizards can, which is really sad, because I would love to have a little familiar summon wandering around. That would be pretty cool. So why don't I just pop over here and turn in that quest to the orc guy who wants his iron shipment. Let's see here. And what is here? Okay. I really like the inventory layout, by the way, in these games. I think they work beautifully. I have your iron.
You got my iron? Good work. Hagdor's very pleased. Can now go back to work.
About time. Do I get anything for this?
Yes, I have a little trinket to help protect you. Take.
Hagdor, you big softy. Thanks a lot. And it's an amulet of natural armor. These are very powerful in the game because it adds to your armor class when you... outside of... it adds to your natural armor class. So that's very important for my character right now, because I am a weak little bard and not all that strong. I'm just going to get my sleep spell down here. And I think I'm going to call it a video right here. Please let me know in the comments what you think of Neverwinter Nights as a game. Have you ever played it before? Does it look interesting to you? Have you ever heard of the Saga of Aielund? And, you know, would you want to play this game? I promise it gets much more exciting later on. This is just the opening chapter of the game. And let me know if you want to see me actually do like a full playthrough of the Saga of Aielund, if I can attempt to do that. I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to get through the whole thing, but I can definitely make an attempt. And just let me know if you like this type of Let's Play content and want to see more of it. I'm going to leave a link to some other RPG games that I've reviewed, so please check them out, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more reviews of classic video games and TV shows and movies. Yeah, my name is Michael. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Hail the dead.